Is this about you? Is this about maybe your child? Possibly did someone you love fall down and bump their head? I want to talk about how to recognize whether or not you are suffering with concussion or traumatic brain injury, which they almost they go hand in hand. One equals the other. The severity is for a doctor to decide. This is not meant to be medical advice in any way, shape, or form. If you are wondering if you are suffering with concussion, suggestion is see your doctor. However, you may want to listen to the end of this video all the way through so that you have an idea of what it is the doctor is going to be looking for, because concussion it's not vague, it's very specific, but some of the signs and symptoms are general things like fatigue. Check out my video that I did, common signs of concussion. I'll put the link below. I'll see what I can do to put the link below. And right now, I want you just to also maybe check out my Facebook. There's a lot of information there on different signs or symptoms, different case studies of people, what they've experienced, how they might feel. By the end of this video, I am going to give you the most common signs of recognizing whether or not you have a brain injury. So if you've just had a blow to the head, maybe you blacked out. It could even be from drinking. Blackout is blackout. It could be a whiplash that you've had. Just could be a fall that you've had. You've hit your body and your neck may have got some trauma, which jiggles up into your head. So depending on any past concussions you may have had, that you possibly did not look for signs or symptoms or did not have recognized, which how many of us fell in the park when we were growing up? How many of us used to climb the trees back in the day when you were outside all the time and you were up in the trees? Like, did anybody else fall out of a tree? Anyway, common signs are that you want to check for almost immediately after you suspect a concussion would be in your eyes, your speech, your cognitive, and your coordination. So how you're going to check those is you can use a flashlight in your eyes, check the dilation, or if you're outside, you can cover your eyes and check that way. Have somebody else check. The pupils of your eyes should dilate together. If you're wearing contacts, they may not dilate together, so you've got to understand where you're coming from. If they're not dilating at the same time, then you might want to go see your doctor and ask about these concussion protocols, which I will be doing more videos on. However, it's never a bad idea to get professional help. If you've just bumped your head or blacked out or had some whiplash and you're suspecting possible concussion, speech is another way that you can have any one of these symptoms could diagnose a concussion, but generally they do come together. If you get one symptom and you don't follow the protocols, usually the others may follow, because you need your head to heal completely and fully before you can get back to everything as usual. If you have slurred speech directly after your suspected concussion, or if you talk to somebody and they hesitate in their words, or they're finding it hard to find words, that could be a definite clue that they've suffered a concussion. You wonder if they've got a brain injury, check on their cognition. So directly after maybe the football bump, you might want to ask what day it is. If they don't, if they're not quick to be responsive, ask them, count backwards from 10, count ABCs. Give me the ABCs. See if they know it. I mean, some of these simple tests can't be passed by people on a good day. You don't want to overload them, but if when you're going through some of these testing for concussions, and if it starts to overwhelm them quickly, then that could be another sign that they have acquired a brain injury. They've suffered from a concussion. Coordination directly after a blow to the head in sports, or however it is that you suspect that they may be suffering, and this is why you're watching the video. So ask them to follow your finger. One eye shouldn't get lazy. They should both be able to follow up and down and around. You can also do sound with your ear. If you put your hand behind them so they can't see it and they won't be able to feel it, but they should be able to hear it in both their ears. You can ask them to walk a straight line. Some people can't walk a straight line on a good day, right? But, I mean, generally one of these signs could cause a concern to go to concussion protocols. If you've had a blow to the head, there's probably, you may, I mean, concussion protocols, concussion protocols do not need to last forever. Your life can go back to normal. Not everything has to always be overwhelming. You have to learn. I'll do another video on learning your triggers and figuring out coping tools after a concussion or after a brain injury. Put a no-brainer if you think that's in the comments below. If you think it's something that you might be interested in finding out. I mean, a lot of us have suffered in some way, shape, or form here or there, and yeah, it's a no-brainer. I mean, concussion. Nah. Back in the day when we used to climb trees and kids were made of rubber, kids acquiring a concussion or kids getting a brain injury is very different than an adult getting a brain injury. And if you're an adult and you've, as a child, had a brain injury, it can change it. There's so many different aspects. Every brain is different. Every person is different. Every life has been lived differently. So these little things, these little signs, these little symptoms, if you're watching this video and you've gotten this far, and I would strongly recommend hitting that subscribe button, because you want to learn more, because it may not be today, it may be tomorrow, it may not be a bump in the head, it may be a friend just shakes you hard on the shoulder or slaps you in the head. What kind of friends are you hanging around with anyway? But you might want to learn about, because just resting, giving yourself time to rest when needed. And how many of us just want to push through that day, like, oh, well, I can rest when I'm gone. But if you don't follow the concussion protocols, it could really cause your rehabilitation, your ability to get back to normal, a lot longer, or maybe normal becomes a new normal. In some cases, concussions or traumatic brain injuries, you never become the same person and you just build yourself a new normal. In which case, you not only want to subscribe to this channel, but you have to hit the bell because you want to be notified every time I upload a new video so that you can learn a little bit more. So, I love you all. I hope you've subscribed. Hit the bell. Check me out on Facebook. I'll have the links in the description below. And write me a comment if there's something that you're interested in, and if there's something else about concussion that you're wondering about. I love you all. Bye-bye.